Welcome to Gillette Stadium for an Eastern Conference powerhouse matchup. It is a third-place New England Revolution 2 against a fourth-place New York Red Bulls 2. Both teams top four in the East, 36 points for the Red Bulls, 39 for New England. A.J. Marcucci in goal for New York tonight. Jacob Jackson in goal for New England as we take a look at those standings. Again, New England third in the conference while the Red Bulls in fourth. Orlando is in fifth, who the Red Bulls just defeated. Meanwhile, New England comes off a matchup against Chicago that was a draw, and Chicago won it in PKs. Again, two great keepers in this game. A.J. Marcucci, third in the league in save percentage. Jacob Jackson allowed just one goal last game and stopped 8 shots. Red Bulls coming over from the USL Championship where they had the worst record in the league, and yet here they sit fourth in the East in their first season in MLS Next Pro. Meanwhile, the Revolution, a returning team to MLS Next Pro, as we take a look at their lineup. A couple of first-teamers in the mix tonight in Panayotou and Bulma. Peyton Miller, just 15 years old in the starting lineup. Doesn't even turn 16 until November. A lot of experience on the back line in terms of games played for New England, and they are guided by Clint P.A., a team that has varied up its structure quite a bit in recent weeks. Seventh overall pick, Matt Nosita on the back end. And Kasule is the name to know for the Red Bulls. 10 goals, and he is on a rapid streak. He has scored a goal in 7 straight and 10 of his last 11. So you better mark up Ibrahim Kasule. 19-year-old from Uganda. Be a couple moments delayed here. The referees tonight are Nabil Bensala, Amilcar Sikaju, Justin Lopez, and Jonathan Luck. This game at Gillette Stadium. With you, MLS Next Pro on Apple TV. As again, this is the New York Red Bulls, who are 4-3-3 on the road. New England is 6-1-3 at home. It's lone home loss to these very New York Red Bulls, 1-0 on April 21st. In fact, the Red Bulls have defeated the Revolution twice. The other one at the Red Bulls, June 4th, a 4-1 triumph for the Red Bulls. The only team that New England has played this year and not earned at least 2 points against is the New York Red Bulls. But the Red Bulls still one spot behind Revolution 2 in the standings. But if the Red Bulls can secure 3 points tonight, both teams would have 39 points, and the Red Bulls would be 3-0 against the Revolution. Two interesting statistical trends for these clubs that are quite opposite from one club to the other is the fact that, albeit in a different league, the Red Bulls allowed an astonishing 76 goals last year in the USL. That was the third worst mark in the USL and one of the worst figures in all of American soccer. Oddly, Atlanta was worst in the league in USL last year, and they had the worst number in American soccer. And Atlanta, like the Red Bulls, has also moved on over to Next Pro. But 76 goals allowed for the Red Bulls last year, third worst in the USL. And here's New York in its first year in Next Pro, leading the East with 23 goals allowed. That is best in the East and fourth in MLS Next Pro. And that has helped overcome what hasn't been the best of offenses. 32 goals for the Red Bulls in the white. And that's third worst in the East, yet they're still fourth in the standings. Meanwhile, the big change for New England is the fact that New England has already surpassed its goals from last year. 39 goals for New England. It scored 27 last year. And New England's played 4 fewer games than it played last season. Eric Duick with you, MLS Next Pro, Apple TV, Gillette Stadium. New England in the blue kits, New York in the red, or the white with the red numbers. Victor Souza plays it back. New England 9-10-5 a year ago in the inaugural MLS Next Pro season, but looking like almost a lock to make the Next Pro playoffs in year 2. Especially if that guy, 99 in blue, who just pressured, if he stays on the field, New England's always dangerous. That would be Jordan Adebayo Smith. Adebayo Smith, 8 goals on the year. Long throw in for the Red Bulls, headed back. New England coached by Clint P.A., the Red Bulls. First year in Next Pro, and they're guided by Ibrahim Sekaye. Here's Adebayo Smith on the charge, touches it in, redirected and wide. Malcolm Fry possesses for New England. New England patient early. Long shot blocked, counter opportunity. New England. Long pass for Fry, but Marcucci comes up and taps that along. Fry in on goal, but Marcucci jumps out, gobbles that up. A couple of long passes in either direction in the early going. Right on cue. Marcos Diaz on the throw. Now he hands that over. Peyton Miller. And now it's handed over again. It'll be Italo. Victor Sousa, the 39th overall pick out of Boston College. Not a lot of tight window passing to this point. It's been a lot of long balls for either side. New England is 2-0-2 and one shootout win in July, unbeaten in 5 straight going back to the month of June. Meanwhile, the Red Bulls completed July 3-2 with consecutive wins. Last defeated Orlando 2-1 and Cincinnati. Before that, it was consecutive losses to Philadelphia and NYCFC. Free kick played high and Jackson soars for it. Joshua Boma, 16 in the blue, has one MLS appearance this year, but it is his 9th start at the next pro level. Spends a lot of time with the first team, though. Just hasn't necessarily found the desired minutes. Hard foul on the other side. Marcos Diaz sitting up. Another look at it. Slow process for this free kick from Gillette Stadium. Into the box. Line drive, headed up. And a foul committed. for the Red Bulls. Malcolm Fry charges in. Cross broken up. Charge in, and that cross blasted over the net. A lot of high contact there on the long goal kick. And we have the medics coming out for a check. It's Pierre Caille took that hit up high. 24-year-old Frenchman who Clint P.A. says is one of the best defenders in the league. 20th start of the year tonight. No card issued to this point, but they'll be sure to evaluate for any potential head injuries or anything of the like. As Caille heads off. We've seen a lot of really long passes in both directions thus far. Played into the box, a long run, Adebayo Smith, 1-on-0, long shot high. As Caille heads back on, he's been checked out. Adebayo Smith, a couple of early chances. That ball deflected though, so a corner kick. Far post headed up. Still loose. Possession stays New England. Panayotu falls, and that allows for transition the other way. The star Kasuli loses it. Fry with a long cross, headed up, and out of play for a goal kick. It's a little bit of a different approach on these Red Bulls goal kicks. Pretty much all of them are launched almost 2/3 of the way up the field. Foul committed on Sofo in his first career start. Sofo, 37 in the white. So Fry to throw in. Now he gives off. A couple of clean chances the way of the Revolution in the last few minutes after the Red Bulls seemed to be the aggressor early. There's Kaye again. He's back into the game, and he's fouled from behind. He's had a pretty physical welcome to this contest. Malcolm Fry again, former academy player. Marcos Diaz. New England seems to have really settled in on its home pitch. Malcolm Fry's open in the middle. It gets broken up, though. Diaz was late to see it. So it's all the way back for Copeland Berkeley, and now Marcucci. Panayotu loses that tool. And it's all the way back for Sousa. Sousa is in search of a 17th straight entire match. He's 4th in the league in minutes. PA calls Sousa a smooth Cadillac. Said he's just so calm and good with the ball, but they need to make sure he stays tuned in all the time. Bolma leads it for Adebayo Smith, who bobbles it away, and then a trip comes with it too. Omar Valencia down to the turf. No card to this moment, though. He's following him around quite a bit, but Ben Salah keeps the card in his pocket. So Marcucci for the free kick. And if the first 19 minutes is any indication, this ball's headed 50 yards. Here's Sousa again. New England has to be thrilled with its start 20 minutes in. Counter opportunity, though. Sullivan stutters and loses it away. Jackson erases the opportunity, out for Fry. He gallops inside. And now transition the other way with Diaz. 4-on-3. Cross. Bulma. Centers it back. It's redirected away, and a foul committed on Malcolm Fry. Bulma, though, a ton of space, but maybe not enough pace on the pass, or at the very least, the 6'8", long-legged Nocita closed in a hurry there. You heard that right. Matt Nocita on the back end for the Red Bulls is 6'8", 7th overall pick last year out of the Naval Academy. An academic All-American, Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. Such different approaches here for New England. It's a little more possession-based, and the Red Bulls, by their own admission, they're all about chaos and trying to find transition. They thrive with high pressure. They want to get the ball high and get to the goal quickly. New England's a little more possession-based, and you can see that just from the defenders passing it around a little bit on the back end, whereas whenever it's in the Red Bulls' back end, they're bombing it 50 yards as quickly as they can, even if it results in an instant turnover if it's headed away. '91 in the white is the young phenom Bento Estrella from Newark, New Jersey, 17-year-old. Signed a homegrown contract in February of 2021, a day before his 15th birthday. The fourth youngest signing in MLS history. Still looking to find the score sheet this year, though. Plenty of space to operate. Leads it ahead for Adebayo Smith, but into the lap of Marcucci. Long cross, too far. Directed back the other way. So New England to throw. Haven't heard a whole lot from the big guns for the Red Bulls yet. Ibrahim Kasule, 10 goals on the year. The other name to know is Frank Sabufu, who has 5 tallies on the year. Sabufu is 97 in the white, Kasule 31 in the white. Kasule is the reigning MLS Next Pro Player of the Month. 5 goals and 1 assist in 5 matches. Long run for Bulma. He twirls and finds Adebayo Smith, top of the box. But that's intercepted. Valencia trots along, crosses. It's chested down. Top of the box, long shot. Jackson bobbles it. Did that cross the line? The entire ball has to cross. We'll get a good look. I think he got his left paw on that just before it entirely crossed the line. We'll get another look at our next stoppage. But I do think from this angle, won't be able to get a goal line pylon style shot, but the entire ball has to cross the line, and it appeared that Jackson recovered just in time. But a near poor miscue for the stellar 23-year-old. Jacob Jackson, 7-2 on the year. A phenomenal .806 save percentage. Long run for Sofo. And Sousa challenges him. Now back for Valencia. He knives inside and turns it over. Fry settles it. Dangerous on the back end for New England. Malcolm Fry boxes out, but loses the ball away. We'll take a look at that near goal. Jacob Jackson seems to have it, then stops it. The ball looks like it's still partially on the line, so Jackson avoids disaster. Credit for the awareness for Jackson to recover after his near gaff. Adebayo Smith upended, but play continues. Kasule now back the other way. Panayotu and Fry, and a turnover again with Sullivan. Long shot over the bar. Estrella with a long blast. Third and fourth place teams in the Eastern Conference. The Red Bulls in fourth at 36 points. New England, the home team in blue, in third at 39 points. 10-5-5 with 4 shootout wins. Lone home loss to these New York Red Bulls. 1-0 on April 21st. Challenge, some space, and a foul call. In terms of teams that New England has already played, the Red Bulls are the only team that New England has not, at one point or another, earned at least 2 points against. Meaning, with the exception of the Red Bulls, New England has either defeated every opponent in PKs or in regulation. In some cases, that did take playing a team a couple of times, but that's also the case with the Red Bulls. Just happens New England lost to the Red Bulls twice in regulation. Panayotu, 22 in the blue, has 10 MLS first-team appearances this year. That's a pretty high number. You get some guys coming down and whatnot, but 10 is a pretty high number to be seeing some next pro action. But it is still his 7th game played at the next pro level this year. Adebayo Smith breaks it up, loses his footing, and that's a clean takeaway. Valencia back for Nocita. And Valencia again. Throws that back for Jackson. Olma charges past center. Italo on the give and go. Stays in play. Charged in, and Nosita exits it. That leads to a New England throw. 2/3 of the way through this first half. Apple TV, MLS Next Pro. Some hydration here as Marcucci's down and might be cramping. At least you hope it's a cramp. With the stretching, that would be the early indication. Marcucci out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. Turned 24 last Sunday. His head coach Ibrahim Sekaitis says we'll see him at the first team level within the next couple of years. Calls him a big-time leader who communicates well, good with his feet, can step out, solid in one-on-one situations. This is his 18th start of the season and stellar numbers. 9 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws. Allows a little more than 1 goal a game and stops 76% of shots. His backup tonight is 25-year-old Will Meyer. Marcucci's made 17 starts. Meyer has made the other 3. Has been the aggressor early and possesses on the restart. Jackson flares that along the near side, out of play. A lot of contact within short proximity there. And now Panayotou gets kicked up. And the restart underway. Back for Kaye. Panayotou hasn't had a whole lot of possession early and commits a turnover. Strong collision. And the yellow comes out on Quiñones. Two guys going for the loose ball there, but that was pretty strong contact. Quiñones didn't play last game after starting 10 straight. Back in the lineup for Rebs 2 tonight.
New England Revolution 2, yellow card.
Free kick for the Red Bulls.
To number 41, called the Quiñones in the 35th minute.
All the Rebs but one standing on the 18. Into the box, headed up and over the crossbar. So no harm on the Quinones yellow card. Appeared to primarily touch the head of Davi Alexander, the 16-year-old from Queens. But it went over the bar. Levante Mullings. Loma defends on the far side. Wraps him up. But play continues. There's Marcucci's first touch since the cramps. Get him in at halftime. Pump some fluids in. Valencia touches along. Beautiful ball. Sofo. Back for Valencia. Cross. High end out of play. Couldn't connect with Sabufu. Good ball from Valencia. Gets it back. But a little too much pace. Sabufu not able to connect on the header. Bicycled out of play. Transition for New England. Adebayo Smith runs ahead, receives. Nocita defends, and Nocita takes it away. Now Marcucci a little dangerous. It's played out though. New England scrambles back. Kasule, the attacking midfielder, leaves for Valencia. Again active early. In a recent first team call-up. Makes his 9th start with the second team tonight. Colma restarts it. An astonishing figure in the 2 matches between these 2 teams, as another player goes down for New England, appears to be a bit bumped up on his left side. Marcos Diaz labors. He's grabbing at that lower back hip area. Down a man. Diaz, the 21-year-old, on the sideline right now. He seems to have walked behind the billboard at this point. See if he serves the 3 minutes or if they replace him. Sabufu. Sousa breaks it up. Word is Diaz will check out. Diaz, in fact, headed off the pitch. Back to the locker room. That takes away a guy who scored 6 goals each of the last 2 years, including a goal 2 games ago in a 3-1 win against first place Crown Legacy of Charlotte. So that's a big loss. But Patrick Leal is set to check in and make his MLS Next Pro debut. Loose ball, Kaye handles business. Likely looking at a couple minutes of stoppage time with that Marcucci cramp. Bobbled around at the top of the box and the other way. Malcolm Fry, now Kasule possesses. One of the few times tonight that the Red Bulls have passed it back and forth and side to side. Valencia. Kasule's sidewinder, loose in the box. And a missed touch by Sousa results in a Red Bulls throw-in. And here comes the debut of Patrick Leal.
Substitution for New England Revolution 2 in the 43rd minute.
New England announced Friday that it signed the 20-year-old Academy product Leal through 2024. Leal joined the Academy in 16. He's been practicing with the club the last couple of weeks, though, before the signing became official on Friday. They say he's a good box-to-box midfielder, really bright player. Malcolm Fry pressures. Alexander and Marcucci. Valencia, plenty of space on the near side. That's where Red Bulls 2 have found most of their opportunities, or at least their ability to reach the final third. Estrella swivels around, and Red Bulls display some patience. Scoreless first half from Gillette Stadium. Now Fry can't track it down. Looking at 3 minutes of stoppage time here. Again, had an extensive cramp situation with Red Bulls keeper A.J. Marcucci.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Kicks it away here, looking healthy. Valencia flares it to the far side. It's touched in. Still loose, long shot blocked. And Panayotu leads the charge the other way. Malcolm Fry. .38 in the blue, Leal, who just checked in for Diaz. After Diaz went down on the far sideline and headed to the locker room. New England has been the aggressor much of the night, but it's the Red Bulls who had the ball probably 65% across the goal line after Jacob Jackson saved it, but then bobbled it behind him, had to reach back and snagged it just before it crossed. Other than that, though, the best chances have come courtesy of New England. Nothing crazy different statistically, but just in terms of what the common eye would deem to be the best chances so far have been courtesy of Jordan Adebayo-Smith, 99 in blue for New England. Bulma hooks that and gathers it back. Valencia stops, fakes a few times. Estrella. And a restart as the Red Bulls look to close the half with possession. Estrella. Pass intercepted. Italo. Far side, Bulma. A race for it. Bulma loses that duel. Panayotu passes into traffic. Finds it back. And now it's Red Bulls ball. Kasule. Ufu lost it. And a Red Bull is down. And it's halftime. Actually see if they're calling a foul here or if they're calling halftime. That is the official end of the first half, as it is 0-0, Red Bulls and New England. That is Levante Mullings on the turf. But our score at the half is 0-0. Thursday, Chicago outlasted Atlanta in a 2-1 result, and Columbus scored 4 goals to down Toronto. Here are the highlights from Friday and Saturday to catch you up on match day 20 of MLS Next Pro.
Christopher Donovan up top. Andrew Rick will be between the sticks once again. Rick on the season getting his 11th start, 5 wins. Alexander Hochschild back in at center back. Steven Bednarski will play the 6 in the midfield. On the end line. Back post. Westfield, and Westfield puts Philadelphia Union on the board. Francis Westfield gets the opening goal. Stojanovic doing a good job finding Westfield, and Westfield going to that back post to get the opening goal of the game. Raffanello able to get there first. Crossing to the top of the air, the shot finds the near side. Beautiful ball across by Raffanello. 5 shots on target, meanwhile, for New York City FC, all stopped by Andrew Rick, and Philadelphia Union have now won 3 in a row as they get the victory tonight by a score of 2-0.
Here comes the counter for Miami 2. Inside the 18, there's a shot and goal! Up top, Taifi. And now running in. Oh, and a goal for Orlando! The Iron Man for Orlando. Has played in every match this season. Solis misses! Sails it above the crossbar. You score, you win, you miss. Orlando stays alive. Final shot, got it! And Miami win the extra point. Lucas Meek seals the deal for Inter Miami 2.
Here's the starting lineup for Minnesota, a 4-3-3, and Manuel Caicedo will move into the starting lineup. And for Yaikar Perlaza, now Gabo over to Paddleford. Takes his first touch, sends it on the ground, and it's crashing into the back of the net. Mosquera goes into another gear, enters into the box, comes to a complete stop. Dunbar! Pondeka past one man. Tomas Pondeka stays on the ball, has a go, and brings some life into this match for North Texas. Pondeka puts it on frame. Oh! Nairobi Vargas was at the doorstep, and he could not knot it in. And that is the final action here.
From the first team, he's made 16 appearances. He's going to be a difference maker up there, up front. Gary back to Larraz. Vargas finds Cabral. Cabral with numbers. Cabral goes near post and gets it by Anchor. Cabral goes inside to Vargas. Vargas, little slip ball. Yappy with a chance here. Yappy. And Yappy gets on the score sheet. To Rodriguez. Hanya. Yappy. Yappy gets his second goal in the span of 3 minutes. As he'll drop back. Here's Wright at midfield. Right, he's going to try from long range. Gets Rodriguez off his line. What a goal. Chance here for the Whitecaps early. Looking to create, and that's going to find its way through. Great start for the Whitecaps here.
One to note, first team forward Tega Ikolba earns the start. He scored 3 goals in 11 matches for Timbers 2. This is a totally different look from the 3-back formation they've been in for about the last 9 matches. 5 changes to the starting 11 for the league. Sissoko strikes and Sissoko scores! Cutting middle is Jones-Riley. Great ball play forward. Timbers 2 looking to respond. It's a great piece of skill and an even better goal. Miglietti pauses and Miglietti puts it through. It's an extra point for the Tacoma Defiance. Miglietti seals the deal. Tonight's man of the match is Gio Miglietti for the Tacoma Defiance.
Stay tuned for our first half highlights. It's 0-0 and stats in a few moments. But first, now it's time for Michelle and Samar to take us through Match Day 19 in this edition of the Match Day Rewind.
Match Day 19 closed out an exciting and busy month of July for MLS Next Pro. Now we're in August, just 2 months away from MLS Next Pro playoffs. I'm Michelle Montaigne alongside Samara Perez recapping a thrilling Match Day 19.
The weekend saw a couple of Western teams getting back to their winning ways. City 2 ended its 4-game winless stretch in their match against LAFC 2. 16-year-old Caden Glover pocketed a brace, scoring the 1700th goal in league history. Midfielder John Klein also added a tally after an insane cross from Isaac Jensen, which puts him at 7 goals on the year. With the win, the St. Louis squad moves within 1 point of a playoff spot. Another team elated to get that winning feeling back is North Texas SC. The Arlington-based squad notched a 4-0 win over Timbers 2 on Saturday, snapping a 7-game winless skid. Jose Mulato powered his team by scoring a brace in just 4 minutes. Then, in the dying moments, Thomas Pondeca put the cherry on top, netting his first goal of the season. Interim head coach John Gaw was so stoked getting on the win column that he promised the guys some celebratory steak.
And you guys did exactly what you needed to do today. You repaid them, and now we're going to repay you even more by taking you to full go on.
And another team with some pretty good news, Huntsville City FC moving above the playoff line. Thanks to the lone goal coming for the boys in blue just 4 minutes into the match, HCFC secured their second straight road win and their first shutout win on the road. The connection between Jonathan Bolaños and Azad Liadi continues to strengthen, with Liadi notching his 4th goal of the month. And meanwhile, goalie wars keeper Ben Martino got his first shutout of the season. Afterwards, head coach Jack Collison described what he was most pleased with.
Picking up 6 points against 2 teams in and around us, digging in. I think it's our 3rd clean sheet of the season now. So in terms of showing that side of the game, really pleased. And can we be a bit better with the ball? Yeah, of course we can. Can we take more of our chances? Definitely. But in terms of getting the job done and everyone doing their job and really digging in and fighting for the cause, I was really pleased with them tonight.
Likely also really pleased with the fact that they have won 6 of their last 9. In closing out match day 19, Red Bulls 2 played host to Orlando City B and played spoiler to the team from Florida. Red Bull 2's Wickelman Carmona and OCB's Moises Tablante, fellow Venezuelans, both delivered highlight reel worthy goals to give a 1-1 scoreline heading into the 77th minute. That's when Ibrahim Kasule took over. The 19-year-old scored the game winner, making his 10th goal in 11 matches, including 7 in the last 7.
With match day 19 in the books, that means we've got 8 weeks for that final playoff push. Until then, Michelle and I will see you again here next weekend with the high points of match day 20.
Waiting the start of the second half from Gillette Stadium. MLS Next Pro action on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, or in this case, we're on MLSnextPro.com tonight. But as always, MLS Season Pass on Apple TV is the place to find all things MLS, Next Pro, etc. And now we show you the best of match day 19 with the MLS Next Pro Spotlight.
Well, guys, match day 19 saw another set of dominant performances from coast to coast. Here we're highlighting the guys who stood out in the spotlight following this round of matches. We start with our MLS Next rising star. It is none other than Sporting Kansas City 2's Natty Clark. The stout defender was a big part of keeping the best team in the West off the scoreboard. The 18-year-old academy player won nearly half his defensive duels while also completing 80% of his passes. The performance caps up a solid month for Clark and comes just shortly after his return from the MLS Next All-Star Game. Now, standing out on the other end of the pitch, your MLS Next Pro player of the match day, Papa Ndoye. The Dynamo Dos forward scored his first career hat trick to help his team earn a 5-3 comeback win over Real Monarchs. 2 of his 3 goals tied the match on 2 different occasions, while his 3rd sealed the victory. With 8 goals scored this season, Ndoye has surpassed his career high of 5 goals from his inaugural MLS Next Pro season. Also scoring goals, John Klein scoring the best goal of the match day. Now, this might be the most impressive header we've seen all season. A pinpoint perfect pass from Isaac Jensen made its way into the box. With the keeper coming off his line, Klein goes up, does a full revolution in the air to head this ball right over the hands of the keeper and into the back of the net. And this week's honorees close out just how they started, with Sporting Kansas City 2 winning the team of the match day. That's what happens when you take down the top team in the West. Not only did they keep Rapids to potent offense off the scoreboard, They put up 4 of their own goals against one of the best defenses in the league. Their second Team of the Week honor this month caps off a productive July for SKC2, where they earned their 4th win of the month in conjunction with netting 16 goals. Congratulations to all of our honorees in the spotlight. Enjoy Match Day 20.
Halftime MLS Next Pro action on MLSNextPro.com as we take a look at the upcoming schedule around the league. New England and Orlando. I'll be back with you for that one on Wednesday night. Red Bulls are up next against Toronto. Columbus Crew 2 is in second in the Eastern Conference right now. They're in action against Huntsville. Crown Legacy's at the top of the Eastern Conference. Then you start to look at some Western Conference matchups. Colorado and Houston. Tacoma, one of the Western powers. Now we'll take a look at the first half highlights. The chances, at least the best chances, came courtesy of New England Revolution. Jordan Adebayo-Smith, that's one that he probably cans more than half the time, but he was just a little over the bar in that instance. And here, this ball probably 65+% of the way across the line, but you got to get it entirely across. At least from our angle, a good call by the Crew. Looks like he gets that just in time. And here was a free kick after a Quinones yellow card. Now we look at the first half stats. It's weird seeing no shots on target for New England, which, while accurate, their chances really did seem to be superior to the Red Bulls in a lot of cases, with the exception of what should have been an easy Jackson save almost turning into a goal. New England has held possession for the bulk of the 3 matches between the clubs. So third matchup between these two clubs. The first time out, April 21st, New England possessed it 64% of the time and outshot the Red Bulls 20-13, and shots on target outshot the Red Bulls 6-4, and won corners 5-1, yet lost the game 1-0. They allowed a penalty kick goal and they missed a penalty kick goal. It was a game that their coaching staff felt New England should have won. The second time out, though, was really dominant in favor of the Red Bulls. New England again won possession, but New York outshot New England in that one, 23-5, and on-target shots were a whopping 16-3. And with that, the Red Bulls are the only team that New England has played and yet to earn at least 2 points against, meaning a regulation win or a penalty kick victory. In MLS Next Pro, you get 3 points for a win in regulation, and then we go to a shootout after a regulation draw, and if you win that, you earn 2 points. If you lose it, you're stuck with 1. Regulation losses result in 0. New England and New York, an Eastern Conference matchup from Gillette Stadium. New England third in the East and the Red Bulls fourth. Eric Tuick with you on MLSNextPro.com. New England under 500 a year ago. 7th in the East, but strong playoff position right now. Italo. New England 39 points, the Red Bulls with 36. Another strong collision and a late whistle on that far side, and perhaps you see a pretty disgusted Ibrahim Sekaija talking to an official on the far side. Sekaija named the interim head coach in July of last season, then officially became the head coach February 6th. Before that, he was an assistant for 8 years with the Red Bulls. So he's been part of this program for a decade. Former Ugandan national team captain, Ibrahim Sekaija. And a few of his players have Ugandan ties as well. One thing that stands out when you scroll through the Red Bulls stats is that unlike a lot of teams that have at least a handful of guys who've played in the range of 15 to 20 games, there are, of course, a couple of exceptions for the Red Bulls, but they have a lot of guys who've been around that 10 to 12 game mark, and that's because they've had a lot of guys who have split relatively even time between first and second teams. So even going into tonight with Leagues Cup and whatnot and some first team action tomorrow, as Fry charges in, crosses, it's deflected away and cleared out. But based on the MLS schedule, it felt like a coin toss as to who might be in the lineup for the Red Bulls tonight. Now a counter opportunity the other way. Mullings loses it. Leal. Panayotu escapes some trouble. Good ball ahead. Peyton Miller, the 15-year-old, with the long shot high over the bar. A yellow card. So a free kick. We'll see where he lines this, marks it just outside the 18. We were about to take a look at that last chance, but here we have a big opportunity after Peyton Miller suffers a foul. Here was Leal before that. Adebayo Smith charged in on Marcucci, who was able to get his body in the way. So it's Patrick Leal in his season debut on the free kick.
The New York Red Bulls 2 yellow card has been issued to number 45.
Copeland Berkeley committed that yellow. Leal's kick sidewinds right into the hands of Marcucci. Leal active early in his debut. Cross pitch pass settled. And all the way back for Italo. Panayotu, strong kick there, and there's the foul call. Just heard someone yell to Frank Sibufu, stay away from him. Not quite sure what that was in regard to, but that was the message, and it sounded like it came from the keeper, AJ Marcucci. Kasule, long cross, high. And that's a goal kick. There is the aforementioned Sibufu, the intended target at the near post. And Jacob Jackson back for a goal kick. Panayotu. Bodies everywhere. Just inside the touchline, Mullings gives and receives back. His cross is redirected. Panayotu with some space. Starts it up. Bulma tripped up hard. Free kick for New England. No yellow card issued. Almost 55 minutes in, MLS Next Pro action, MLSNextPro.com. Long word there with Copeland Berkeley. Slow restart. Panayotu's cross broken up by the 6'8" Nosita, but it stays in the box. Fry, long shot chested away. AJ Marcucci. And he launches that way up the field. Long run for Sofo. Curls 10 yards out. Long shot deflected. Kaye heads it to himself and is tripped up by Sofo. So Kayo wins that one-on-one challenge. Kaye blocks the shot, then wins the rebound and draws the foul on Sofo. Smith and Nosita on the header, and Nosita grabbing at his right eye, right side of his face. If you're Adebayo Smith, no seat at 6'8", it's not the first guy you're trying to challenge in a header. Adebayo Smith listed at just 5'11". Fry loses it along the touchline. Still loose, battled for, Red Bulls ball. Played ahead Mullings. Into the box and back for Mullings. Copeland Berkeley. Long cross headed out. Dylan Sullivan taps it back. Now it's chested around both ways. Berkeley on the give and go. Tripped up a couple of times. Play continues. The 20-year-old Leal with the hook pass that's intercepted. A lot of contact there from Valencia, and it is deemed a foul. Third place New England, fourth place New York. Peyton Miller drew that yellow card just outside the box early in the half. Sousa. Peyton Miller now checking out. And it's Ulger Escobar that comes in. Italo, deep toward his own goal line. Aggressive shin kick there from Panayotou.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitutions for New England Revolution 2 in the 59th minute.
So a few subs to get through here. Rafael Mosquera and Amos Shapiro-Thompson in for the Red Bulls, while Mohamed Sofo and Copeland Berkeley depart. Meanwhile, for New England, Peyton Miller and Joshua Bolma exit, while Noble Okello and Ulger Escobar enter for the Revolution 2.
Amos Shapiro-Thompson. Exiting the match, number 45, Copeland Berkeley. Entering the match, number 79, Rafael Mosquera. Exiting the match, number 37, Mohamed Sofo.
Meanwhile, the free kick coming up, Bento Estrella or Shapiro-Thompson to take it. Shapiro-Thompson fresh into the game, 77 in the white. Estrella's 91. Shapiro-Thompson hooks it, but it's knocked out. Sent back into the box and departed. So a couple of young sensations just exchanged places for New England. Out goes Peyton Miller, the 15-year-old, who had recorded a point in 3 straight matches. Doesn't turn 16 until November. And in for him is Olger Escobar, the 16-year-old with his 7th appearance. Escobar didn't play last match, but he had an assist in the previous match in a victory against first-place Crown. Crown and Columbus are the 2 teams that New England trails in the East. And then Red Bulls behind Crown, Columbus, and New England. As Shapiro Thompson limps off. Or limps away, I should say. No foul on the long throw. So Kaye kicks it back. Italo with a long ball for Leal, who runs it down, shoots in for cross goal! Adebayo Smith. Adebayo Smith sneaks in from behind and scores on his former team. Leal with the apparent shot, but it's Adebayo Smith who comes in at the last moment to head that over Marcucci. Not the most traditional of crosses there, but Adebayo Smith into the back of the net for his 9th.
Assisted by number 38, Patrick Leal, in the 63rd minute.
Leal, the 20-year-old, they announced his signing on Friday. He's the guy that joined the academy in 2016, and he's signed through the 2024 season. Entered in the first half when Marcos Diaz went down with an injury and headed to the locker room in the closing minutes of the first half. Seemed like New England was on the doorstep of a goal for a pretty extended period. Finally able to crack the sheet. That's Adebayo Smith's 3rd or 4th quality chance. And the latest one makes it 1-0. Here's Escobar. Escobar and Miller, who he replaced, just helped New England to its 2nd straight MLS Next Cup title. Miller, who checked out, scored a goal in that 2-1 championship win. Where is Ibrahim Kasule? Literally speaking, he's right near the penalty arc, but in terms of his presence on this game, he's nowhere to be found. He's scored a goal in 7 straight and an astonishing 10 of the last 11. He's the remaining player of the month in MLS Next Pro. Here his cross is broken up. Kasule scored in the 2nd matchup against New England when the Red Bulls won 4-1. This It's third place New England, fourth place New York. New York 2-0 against New England, courtesy of 1-0 and 4-1 triumphs. Panayotou, who's on the pitch tonight for New England, is the lone player who has scored for New England in the 2 matches until Adebayo Smith's goal just moments ago. Shapiro Thompson, third round draft choice this year. Alexander surveys. Sullivan, long ball over the bar. Seemed like a little bit of a dangerous goal kick had that been intercepted. Panayotou, Escobar on the near side, Adebayo Smith in the center. Adebayo Smith runs it down, stops back for Escobar, not on the same page. And that results in a turnover. And a foul committed on Italo. Dylan Sullivan on the free kick. Nope, he hands that off to Alexander. Slides it back for Marcucci. Lofted along for Sullivan. Passes to the edge of the box. Mullings wanted Sullivan back. Top, Shapiro Thompson, lost away. Counter opportunity. Italo. Not on the same page with Adebayo Smith. Okello challenged that. Now it is won by New England. A lot of contact, no call. Great play by Italo to dive and break that up. Fry doesn't like the foul call. On the free kick. Velocity into the box. Kasule bicycles it back. Kasule edge of the box, dangerous, loose, a lot of contact. No call. Italo and Panayotou intercept. It's lost around. Red Bull starting to pressure quite a bit. Adebayo Smith finds Escobar. Escobar doesn't turn 17 until September 11th. Escobar recently signed a next pro contract through 2024 with a club option for 2025. He's the 11th Academy player to sign with Revs 2. Here is Escobar. New England's possession-based approach looks to come in handy late in this contest. Escobar's long ball, too far for Fry, and possession to the Red Bulls. 3-2 in the month of July. Big collision at midfield. Kaye down again. There's a collision with Sabufu. This is the second time the medics have been called to check on Kaye as Sabufu commits the yellow card. Kaye had his head checked in the first half, and now he's down again. Sabufu and Kaye in that collision. That was the near disputed penalty not too long ago, and here we get the yellow card on Sabufu. Kaye attended to. Kaye remains on the pitch.
New York Red Bulls yellow card has been issued to number 97, Frank
Panayotu. Attacks to the edge of the box, Knives inside, and that's sent back. Opportunity, but the pass not in stride with Sullivan. So he's forced to twirl around. Sullivan crosses too high for a header. The weak side is tracked down by Mosquera. Estrella clears that. Dangerous pass, turnover. Kasule, far side, shot blocked. Red Bulls wanted a handball. That ball off the foot of Mosquera. Kasule sends for Mosquera, who takes the shot, and that very well may have hit the right hand of Victor Sousa. Italo storms into the final third. Patient with the lead. Touched in for Adebayo Smith, but easy for Marcucci. Deja, Henry Wise, and Jaden Reed are all set to check in for the Red Bulls. Heavy contact there. Fry receives a talking to. So Kasuli's incredible streak comes to an end. He'd scored a goal in 7 straight games in 10 of 11. Not a single quality opportunity tonight. So Jaden Reed, Deja, and Henry Wise all in for the Red Bulls.
Entering the match, number 2, Jaden Reed. Exiting the match, number 42, Omar Valencia. And entering the match, number 70, Deja. Exiting the match, number 4.
Headed backside, but right at Jackson. Jackson plays that inside the touchline, or Marcucci, pardon me. Jackson on the other side in search of his 4th clean sheet. Jackson gathers it. As we approach 7:45 on the East Coast. If you include stoppage time, about 15 minutes to go here. Barring a draw and a shootout. Shapiro Thompson on the restart. Deja, his 9th appearance. Deja receives with space. Long cross, kicked away. And a yellow card. It's Ovante Mullings who's down. That yellow on Italo. Definitely some contact in that ankle area, but didn't appear to be anything too egregious from our angle. Good sportsmanship from Adebayo Smith to check in on Mullings. Guys use this as an opportunity to hydrate. So Mulling stays in due to the card on the play. He does not have to submit to the 3-minute off-field treatment rule. Loose inside the box, bobbled around, still danger zone. Mosquera passes far side, Fry defends. Reed lost it away. That was probably the best sustained opportunity for the Red Bulls tonight. So no harm on that Italo yellow. Elsewhere around Next Pro, St. Louis leads Salt Lake 1-0. Huntsville in front of Cincinnati 1-0. And Houston 2-0 on Sporting Kansas City. We're on MLSNextPro.com tonight, but Apple TV, your home for MLS Season Pass, all things MLS and MLS Next Pro. Second year of MLS Next Pro. Columbus, the inaugural champion. They're second in the East right now, one spot ahead of New England. Crown Legacy's in first, the newcomer from Charlotte. Fry chugs along, operates to the middle, space on the far side, but it's just touched along to the keeper. Thompson lofts that for a far side run. Cross back in, but broken up. And a corner kick. Jacob Akinirij is set to check in for the Revolution. Italo will leave. Played into the box, but Jackson elevates and grabs. Jackson patient, content to kill some clock. Long throw, almost touched the hand of Reed. Italo will in fact stay in. They've switched up the sub. Italo will stay in, but Malcolm Fry will leave. And there it is on the board in the center of your screen. Malcolm Fry out, and Jacob Akinirij is in. Akinirij new to New England this year. He played for the now folded Rochester club in Next Pro last year. Thompson. Red Bulls looking for a strategic action. Good spacing. Shapiro Thompson at the head of it. Adebayo Smith, or rather Okello, intercepts. Here's Adebayo Smith. Always dangerous. And Italo runs on the near side. Adebayo Smith just gets rid of it to work some clock. New England 0-2 against the Red Bulls thus far, having defeated in either PKs or regulation every other team it has played this season. Shot well off target. Deja. Cross, knocked out again. Henry Wise is 61 in the white. Touched in, headed out, Italo. Adebayo Smith knocked from behind and a foul called. Foul committed. It's on Kaye. Sabufu on his feet. Davi Alexander upset about something there on the free kick, 89 in the white. Shapiro Thompson into the box, headed just wide. Good look. Just not on target. Looking at 4 minutes of stoppage coming up. As Jackson on the goal kick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official.
Leal pursues that in. Shapiro Thompson forced to pass back to his keeper. Now Deja bounces it along, receives back. Cross blocked again. We've seen a lot of that tonight. Two defenders on the ball. Cross sent away. Akinirich. Into the box for the 6'8" Nocita. Still on it, uses that large frame but his cross blocked out for a corner. Corner kick, not a lot of height. Right into the chest of a Rev player. Deja lofts that in. Dangerous challenge from Jackson, but he smothers it. Jackson aggressive off his line, and he's rewarded for it. That would have had to be a really good header from a Red Bull player, so a very aggressive maneuver from Jackson, but it pays off. Mullings, miscommunication. Panayotu, Kaye exits it. Leal with Adebayo Smith, 2-on-3. Leal passed it back to nobody in particular, so Deja plays it. Long cross, headed back into the box, still loose, bicycled. Touched along, Mullings with some space, hooks it to the far side, but nobody's home. And kicked out of play. Quinones plays that safe and forces the throw in. Loose on the near side. Mullings, cross kicked away. You see the hands behind the back from Italo, headed out again. Shapiro Thompson keeps in. Now Adebayo Smith defends. Jaden Reed touches along, intended back to him, but it's broken up. Seconds to play, into the box, punched out. Mullings, another kick. It's loose, it's in, goal! Red Bulls with a last-second equalizer. Mullings canned that from the top of the box. That was likely the last action of the half. Kicked in, punched out right to Mullings. And that may have hit Italo or went off of somebody in there. If you're Jackson, you're probably best just to grab that.
New York Red Bulls goal in extra time, scored by number 88, Monte Mullings.
Mullings with his second goal of the year. The 20th overall pick last year. Captain for the Red Bulls ties it, and we're going to PKs. And MLS Next Pro has a unique feature when the score is tied after 90 minutes. Michelle and Samara have more.
There are no ties in MLS Next Pro. If a match ends in a tie at the end of regulation, the game will proceed directly to a shootout with kicks from the penalty mark.
That brings us to the point system. Similar to other soccer leagues, a team will earn 3 points with a win at the end of regulation, 1 point for a tie, and 0 points for a loss in regulation. A club will earn 2 points if the game ends in a tie and they go on to win the shootout that Samara just explained following the end of regulation.
if Jackson either caught that or if New England cleared it, you have to think that was the last sequence of the stoppage time. We were already past the 4-minute mark, but they let you obviously go ahead with your free kick situation, and Jackson just did the two-handed punch, and he may regret that one because it went right over to Mullings, who kicked it past him. Goalies often go with the punch if you're in a situation where you can't come down with it, but it didn't look like he had a whole lot of bodies that were near him to prevent him from catching that ball. Usually the punch is saved for situations where you can't come up with it. And it went right to Mullings, who canned it from the top. So New England really in control much of this match, but that late flurry from the Red Bulls evens it up. So here's how New England found the board. Early in the second half, Leal in his debut crosses it. Adebayo Smith in from the back post for his 9th goal of the year. And then Mullings off that punch out from Jackson. And then again, it appeared to hit the side of Italo or somebody in blue amid that traffic. So the Red Bulls are 2-2 in shootouts this year. The Revs are 4-1. The Revs' lone shootout loss was actually last time out against Chicago. Last Sunday, Chicago defeated New England 5-3 in PKs. So the Red Bulls will start it off with Sabufu. 5 goals on the year. He signed from the Wakiso Giants in the Ugandan Premier League. Jacob Jackson in the cage. Just lost out on a 4th clean sheet with that misplay, allowing Mullings to get us to kicks from the mark. Sabufu plucked away. So Jackson perhaps makes up for that misplay, giving the Revs the upper hand. AJ Marcucci. A 24-year-old keeper from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Here's Jacob Akinirich. 1 MLS game in his career. And he scores it. Akinirich, an interesting choice to start it off. 1 assist, no goals on the year. But a wise decision from Clint P.A. Now it's Davi Alexander. a 16-year-old Queens native.
David Alexander shooting.
He has some U15 national experience. Coach Sekaija raved about his potential and his high ceiling. Alexander hops in, blocked again! Jacob Jackson. Back-to-back stops, almost identical. The 16-year-old Ulger Escobar. Biggest moment of his young next pro career. No problem. Ulger Escobar gives New England a big-time upper hand in PKs. Escobar has a bright future. Led Guatemala to the quarterfinals of the U17 CONCACAF Championship. Signed a next pro contract through 24 with a club option for 25. Doesn't turn 17 until September. He makes it 2-0 Revs. Red Bulls gotta get one. Shot in. Henry Wise puts the Red Bulls on the score sheet. Jordan Adebayo-Smith against his former team. Signed with the Revs in December after playing for the Red Bulls in the USL last year. 7 goals, 3 assists last year. He's already upped that, scoring his 9th goal today in regulation. Adebayo-Smith from London, England. Off! Missed it to the right. New England has won in either regulation or PKs of 7 of the 8 games that Adebayo-Smith has scored in prior to today. Now he's scored in 9 games with the regulation goal. We'll see if New England can make it 8 of 9. Dija, the 20-year-old Brazilian. Stutters in and scores. Jackson guessed wrong. So here's Italo. A returning player for the Revs. PA describes him as very professional.
Number 52, Italo.
No goals on the year, though, just 5 shots attempted. Italo. Blocked! We're even. New England had massive favoritism on its side with the 2-0 lead, but the Red Bulls bounced back with a missed shot from New England and then a save there from Marcucci. Bento Estrella, the 17-year-old from Newark, New Jersey, steps in back of the net. The 4th youngest player to sign an MLS contract. Puts the Red Bulls up 1, but having had one more shot.
Number 22, Jack Yotu, shooting for Revolution 2.
Now it's Jack Panayotu looking to extend this. He stutters and gets it just inside. That is precision. Off the foot, that looked high and wide. Panayotu keeps it going. Here's Ovante Mullings, who has us in this position with his 94th minute goal to tie it. 20th overall pick a year ago. The captain from Toronto, Ontario. Jacob Jackson on the other side. Mullings fakes, shoots, stopped! The left from Jackson. Swatted back to block it. That is phenomenal reaction time.
Number 38, Patrick Leal, shooting Revolution 2.
Patrick Leal, in his season debut, he assisted the goal in regulation. Leal, the former academy player, crossbar! Marcucci guessed wrong. Leal had it and hit the bar.
Number 79, Rafael Mosquera, shooting for Red Bulls.
So here's Rafael Mosquera, the 18-year-old from Panama. Playing some mind games here. Comes in with the left foot, and it's off the bar again! Something's got to give. Noble Okello. Marcucci on the line. Okello drives in. Blocked again! It's not too often you see this many consecutive stops or misses in kicks from the mark. And if you're Jackson, you probably thought you had it won twice, and now you've got to regather and try to stop this shot.
Number 77, Amos Shapiro.
It almost feels like going second here becomes a detriment because you feel like you've had it won. Shapiro Thompson sneaks it by. Shapiro Thompson scored 6 goals in his Boston College career, drafted in the 3rd round this year. Sakaije was just saying earlier this week that he thinks Shapiro Thompson will start to shine with more playing time. And he was pretty active in the second half. Colby Quinones looks to extend this. No goals on this season. It's stopped! The Red Bulls win it! So A.J. Marcucci with the game-winning save. He is tonight's man of the match presented by Adidas. A.J. Marcucci from the Red Bulls is the man of the match presented by Adidas. As the Red Bulls win it 4-3 in PKs, 1-1 draw in regulation, and just a gut punch for Revs 2. Led 1-0 until the 94th minute. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Eric Duick. Again, our score 1-1 draw, 4-3 Red Bulls in PKs. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.